Whew, what is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 4, episode 5. So we would have had the episode earlier, but Mr. 824 Cocksucker Man told me before our start time that he was also going to be busy around 2 to 4 o'clock anyway. So yeah, I ended up actually getting off early enough, or getting off on time, and then came home and he was like, yep, I can't make it this time. And I was sitting here going like, okay, I guess we're just going to do the show later on. And then I had to take a nap earlier because I was like really tired because I got up early for work. So yeah, next week we're going to be pretty much going over the LCS top 5s that they've been doing for top 5 mids, top 5 top laners, supports, ADCs actually. I know they put out the top 5 LCS mid laners actually. But that stuff we're going to be going over next week because literally after basically this week, it is over for the LCS, regular season in terms of the split. So this week coming up, which is going to be literally tomorrow. So with Super Weeks, it's always generally hard to pinpoint when to get these episodes out. I think for Super Weeks moving into next year, I think we'll simply just like have the episodes come out a day before if we can, because that way it's a lot more easier and a lot more better for you guys to digest the content that we're going to be putting out. But some people don't initially watch right then and there, so it's going to end up not being that big a deal overall. But we had some crazy information come out. I do have some videos up here for us to go over, as well as I'll be going over the standings for the LCS 2022 Summer Split. I have a lot to say about Cloud9, so don't worry about that, guys. I'll definitely be saying a lot about how badly they have been performing recently. But if you are watching this, make sure to smash the like button. That's all I asked for. I'm going to go and pin this, actually. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, Warren's here tonight to talk to me about how great TSM is, right? Nope. I'm pretty sure Warren is also dead.
Yes.
So would you rather have V5 take on T1? Would you rather have Top Esports take on T1?
I would rather RNG.
That sting feeling if they win again.
I really want RNG to win a championship personally. World championship.
Oh, okay. I mean, like they kind of already have the domestic trophies already down a little bit.
Domestic and MSI. For some reason, MSI is their playground. So
yeah, they literally haven't won Worlds, and it's crazy how they've won literally everything else except for Worlds so far. And they've had years where they could have won Worlds too. If you factor in, they've come in at some time as the number 1 team that everyone was looking at. It's just that's just how sports pans out. Your expectations end up not becoming a reality. That's just fucking crazy. But with the LPL right now, if anyone's watching the LPL, there's a lot of parity in their standings as well. Like it's
best region in the world.
Been fucking crazy, man. Like teams that people think that are probably the best teams are not the best teams. Like V5 definitely were on a losing streak a little bit, and they kind of been bouncing back. They broke Top Esports' win streak. Anyone's Legend, who was completely a freaking joke last split, literally made a complete turnaround. Like the turnaround in the LPL is just absolutely insane, actually. So yeah, I mean, also if you are watching the LCK, Gen G is the best team right now, and I hope they win a title. I've been following Gen G for quite some time. The team I root for in the LCK, I've been following Ruler ever since 2016, I think, actually.
That's bullshit.
2016. Yeah, so I hope Ruler wins his first trophy.
Stop lying.
Hope he gets it. Hey, man, I love my Ruler, best ADC in the world, man. You're going to hear it.
Viper, best ADC.
Viper, best ADC. EDG like 4th right now in the LPL with their 29 teams they got going on there. Actually.
That's still good. Who won Worlds last year?
Wait, I haven't got a chance to see too many of the individual games. I keep watching like just one game at a time for some reason. But yeah, with the LPL right now, oh my goodness, man, they're going to be coming in as like heavy favorites actually. Like if they're not the heavy favorites coming in, that's just some bias right there because they've been actually like in the region itself. The gameplay has been insane, actually.
Well, just not to pivot, but how do you feel that they didn't before you start LCS? How do you feel that they didn't restructure the Worlds format?
That's stupid, man. I hate that shit. I mean, I know people say that they can't do double elimination at Worlds, but they're just, I mean, like you look at Dota 2, and people have pointed out in Dota 2, you literally have a entire month where they do that whole tournament in less than a month. You know,
Well, I
like
think
Dota 2's biggest tournament, which is their TIs, right? They do
right.
those tournaments less than a month. We have a whole month of Worlds and we can't do double elims. That's bullshit. And people saying I don't want to play extra. That's fucking bullshit. That's just bullshit on some of the teams and Riot themselves. There's no reason for it not to be double elimination. You know?
I think they would have to cut down the games by 4 in each major in each region. So instead of typically you play 18 games, right? So if they and you normally play 2 games a week, right, for most regions. So if they cut it down by 4, then you have 2 weeks where you could do the double in them. You could do more. That's the logical thing I could see, but I don't know.
So my thing with Worlds has always been like you look back at the tournament and you always think to yourself, did you really get like the best games that you really could have gotten? You know, like I think they did like a stat where like the LPL and the LCK have not even faced each other at least maybe 20 times at Worlds. I think the number was like what, 12, right? Isn't that insane? That the regions that have faced each other, the regions that have been so dominant at Worlds have not even faced each other more than 12 times at a world championship in terms of BO5s, at least BO5s.
I think the seeding is just. I think the seeding is bad because, like, me personally, I would put NA and EU in their same have like a group with one group that has the play-ins, one group that has NA EU, and another group that has LCK LPL. That way, you're getting quality matches. Of course, I want to add a double
regions that are just about even with each other,
right?
Yeah,
and then you pivot to the knockout stage. But even if the team had like a bad record, you could slide. They could be in the lower bracket, and then the team that lost in the upper bracket gets sent down, and you can have like something really cool. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I think Riot has been. Sorry to any Riot employee that may be watching. I think lately they've just been, ever since the pandemic, I think they've just been really cheap.
Yeah, my thing here also with Worlds is simply it's the parody that always goes on. Like I was thinking earlier today, what's the reason why Rift Rivals didn't pop off for a lot of people?
Because there's no stakes. Not to sound funny.
No, yeah, there was essentially no stakes, and you know how you watched the LCKs battle with the LPL. Remember, for Rift Rivals, people forget they threw in the LMS. What really soured that Rift Rivals for between LPL and the LCK was that they threw in the LMS, who had at that point been pretty much dog shit. Like at the LMS back in like 20 was the last time we had a Rift Rivals tournament, like 2018, right? 2018.
2018,
yeah. That was when the LMS was complete garbage. They were going like 0-12 at Worlds for some of their teams. Like, you know, I understood what the idea of it was, but I think that given Riot's schedule with each of the major regions and the other little minor leagues too, the schedule is just too grueling to have another tournament in the middle of already what you're doing, right? So you guys kind of factor in. By the time we had Rift Rivals a few years ago, you would have this is also before lock-in tournaments too, but the LCK had their Kespa Cups too. So you literally would have Spring Splits, MSI, Rift Rivals in the middle of Spring Split, MSI, Summer Split in the middle of that Rift Rivals. After that, you also have Worlds. But then in the middle of all that stuff, you also have playoffs if your team goes very far. And you also have, if your team wins the split, you go to MSI. There's just, I just don't think it was in the schedule for the moment. Like having a Rift Rivals tournament in like the off season when, you know, things are kind of like mellowed out just for fun. If you wanted to do that, I think that would have been a whole lot better, honestly.
Didn't Rift Rivals kind of replace IEMs?
Yeah, that was the intention behind it. right?
But I think IEMs are better.
And a lot more competitive too, because it allowed for a lot of regions to come and
like
play.
most of the time, wasn't like second place teams that were
second place teams that got second place in their spring splits. It was always like third place teams.
And it was an invitation. It was an invitation thing. So if you if like I don't know, let's just use if Mad Lions got invited, but they said no, they would say, "Oh, Rope, do you want to come?" And then they would come.
Yeah, I remember like if EDG couldn't make it, they offered someone else. If they other team couldn't make it, they offered someone else. I think the structure around IEMs were good. It's just their tournaments. Remember, they always had those long pauses. Oh my god, those are so grueling.
Oh yeah,
oh my god.
It was long pauses. And did they have a lower bracket?
Did they have a lower bracket? I think they did actually. I think they had one. Yeah, they actually did. I remember they did. I remember like TSM and Origin getting knocked out in the first rounds of the tournament that they had structured back then, and then them going through like lower bracket up through that rank. So I got what Riot was doing. They wanted to have like more international tournaments because remember, dude, the pro players were clamoring for more international events. So like, well, why don't we have more international events though? Like, why don't we have more of them? And then they give them more international events, and then people just complain, you know? So it's like, what can you really do, honestly? Like, you're doing what the players ask for, you know, and then you give them that, and then it's still like it's too taxing on them. It's like it's only taxing because the splits are too long sometimes, you know. But that's just me personally. Like, could you imagine the LPL with now 17 teams now doing Rift Rivals, the top 4 teams now doing Rift Rivals in the middle of an already taxingly crazy season? So that's just me personally, guys. I was just thinking about Rift Rivals just a few days ago, and the idea of it sounded awesome in theory. Like, you have the regions with the biggest rivalries going at it for a little bit, and then you all obviously, you know, it decides. It's basically a shell match of like who's better at that current moment in time. You know, NA won, you know, the first time around, and then EU won the other time around, and then in 2019 EU won. You know,
no, I think no, the last one was
in 2019. I forgot 2019. Because G2 and TL faced each other during that one. The last Rift Live Rebels was 2019.
Oh no, I thought I was saying IEM. The IEM
last IEM was 2017. 2018? I think so, right?
I think it was 2018.
2018, yeah.
But and the thing about it is that like T1 when T1 Fnatic, TSM were at the hype, people wanted to go because they got their chance to like play against these teams because they may not have made Worlds. That's why I thought IMs are still good because you're getting international tournament practice.
Warren is playing League right now. Or Cat is scratching his door.
It's my AC. So
okay, so that was my thing. Also, is maybe Riot might incorporate another little smaller international event potentially, but when you're doing it in the middle of the season, in the middle of summer split, particularly the split that leads to Worlds, I think it just creates a lot more complications.
I have an idea. I think get rid of like these, like the Demacia Cup, or like these. Well, I don't. Okay, not get rid of it. Sorry for the sound. I can't stop it. It's fucking hot in here. What you do is do like a tournament where you have it before, like a I don't know, off-season.
This is why instead of having like the preseason tournaments, just have a Rift Rebels before the season starts. Like
a Worlds before, like not a Worlds, but like honestly, just bring back IEM before like.
Yeah. Literally, all they could do is just do Rift Rivals before the season starts.
Or if you do Rift Rivals, you pick the best teams against. You do Rift instead of doing
NA versus EU, China versus Korea.
Yeah, you do East versus West.
Yeah. I think that would make it that makes it a lot more hype though, because there's no real reason for NA to just fight EU when they pretty much don't do this. They pretty much do the same shit at Worlds in general anyway.
Right, and you could like say, hey, you could be on TL, maybe mix with the teams, or like do some fun stuff.
Because remember, people have to factor in XL when they were somewhat of a decent team earlier to split. The reason why they got as good as they did for that little short period of time that they did in the LEC was because they actually faced T1 and RNG, who completely, they said, destroyed them, but they figured out how to work on their mistakes. I don't think you're going to be getting that from NA teams fighting EU teams. Just my personal opinion. But yeah, just thought I had that little discussion right there regarding the international tournaments that, you know, the game doesn't have anymore. I did like IEMs and Rift Rebels when we had them. They were like a nice little cool event to have. But after a certain period of point in time, like the quality of them just severely dipped in terms of playability, and it was just so bad after a while to watch them, you know? Like the first one's always like the really hyped one, and the second one was always like, this is all right. And the third one's like, okay, why do we even have this event, you know? Then I remember there was something else on my mind as well. I just forgot it. Oh, my bad. Just got it back. All-Stars. Like, Riot hasn't did All-Stars. Last year, they didn't do All-Stars. All-Stars used to be so fun to watch, actually. Back when I first watched it in 2015, then up until, like, 2019, I think. Like, I feel like the last few years of All-Stars were, like, really bad. But the years where you had all these competitive rivalries with players with each other, like Faker versus Froggen was a certain 1v1 matchup. Like, there used to be so much fun with All-Stars. They just ended up canceling it because the viewership for All-Stars just wasn't there anymore, you know? And I personally feel like this stuff could be around a lot longer. The problem here is usually when you have this tournament of this kind of magnitude, it's like it's supposed to be a for fun tournament that's supposed to be also like somewhat competitive, you know, but then All-Stars just started lacking that. So, you know, tournaments like IEM, Rift Rivals, and All-Stars, you know, or at least a variation of IEM or Rift Rivals. I hope that comes back actually, guys, just to some extent, you know, maybe, but I know how hard it is logistically for it to happen with the production, the location, staff, running the venue, all that stuff, right? Then you have All-Stars, but All-Stars is also in the middle of like the off season where, you know, players are deciding if they're going to be, you know, on a team actually. So you're still kind of going like, okay, this guy's still deciding if he's going to be on a team. Is he really going to want to like go and participate in an All-Star event? Also, I remember like one All-Star event back in like 2017. I remember like the LPL team boot camped for an All-Star tournament. Like, guys, go back and watch that event. The casters even pointed out too, the LPL team boot camped for an All-Star event. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, actually. You know, this was back then where you could win like trophies for your region, so I guess that made more sense. But that's crazy, man. Fucking boot camping for an All-Star event. That's ridiculous. You know, but hey, what do I know?
I think there was just a lot of pride back then. I wish I could punch my AC. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So that's my thing. I think the player rivalries have also gotten a little bit more downplayed recently. The player rivalries haven't been as hype as they used to be. I think that's what's contributing to like a lot of these more non-hyped matchups. Actually, it's only just hyped off name brand alone, not exactly the players on the roster. But I wanted to go over a few videos from the LCS and JAD, actually. But we do have some interesting news, is that Huni is officially announcing his retirement. This is pretty much like a shock to no one.
The greatest check stealer.
Good God, this man's crazy. So, literally, Huni was already pretty much retired. We just hadn't really had a confirmation of it until literally 2 days ago. And we saw TSM already take steps and measures to ensure that Huni could just swiftly retire. They brought up Soul. That didn't work out for a few games, and they just brought in Solo, which was the move that a lot of people had actually wanted anyway. So looking at this right now, Huni officially retired. He could either go into coaching, streaming, casting, whatever he really wants to do. I don't really know which personally I would probably pick for the guy. Looking at his casting that he had on the LCS broadcast, I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but he did kind of just like do it last minute. So that is kind of what that aligns with. But yeah, it's crazy. I literally saw this guy's career start back in 2015 when he was on Fnatic, for the EULCS 2015 spring split, watching him just completely dominate a whole league for like a year in a row. Like he dominated EULCS. He definitely got humbled at Worlds a little bit more. He had some outstanding performances at Worlds that first year, but he definitely got humbled by Smeb, who completely just railed the guy, But then him and Reignover dominated EU. They made top 4 in their year on Fnatic. They won both splits. They went to Huni also later on that year. Finished top 4 at Worlds. Then after that, he went with Reignover to Immortals for 2016 LCS Spring Split, and then they dominated the league. Then they pretty much flopped pretty hard in playoffs. They went 17-1 in the regular season, but then flopped and then lost to TSM in that upset fashion. But then after that, he dominated the next split as well. Huni's had a great career overall. Like, factor in, he has 2 trophies. He won 2 in LCS. He won a trophy in the LCK. He's won MSI. He's been to Worlds Finals, actually. He's made top 4 at Worlds. He's a legendary career this player has had, actually. But toward the back end of the LCS 2018 summer split, I would say is when he subtly started declining. Yeah, he was a decent main contributing factor to the teams that were pretty bad that he was on, but I think that split is when you started noticing a decline in his play. That's when I noticed it personally for myself, was the LCS 2018 summer split is when you started to notice the cracks in his armor, because he was a really insanely strong top laner. Like, he'd be a player that would go for all the aggressive plays, win all of his matchups, completely dominate the top side. But then you started noticing after that split going into 2019, 2020, 2021, and earlier this year in 2022, just kind of wasn't the same player anymore. Maybe that was either due to the wrist injuries that he ended up actually having, or was it simply just a lot of players just caught up to his skill level? Could be a mixture, combination of both. He's been on multiple teams. At a certain point, I think he was pretty much just stealing checks.
It was monkeypox.
Like, at a certain point, I don't know why teams kept signing him. It was completely feast or famine. Though last year for TSM in the spring split last year, I think he did kind of come back to form a little bit. I think he was at least a top 5 top laner then. But then that same summer split, still kind of faltering. Like, he really was never the same after Echo Fox didn't make that finals back in spring when they lost to Team Liquid, actually, in the semifinals. Maybe that was the breaking point, because he never made an LCS finals, though. What's crazy is that he made the finals of LCK, LEC, never made the finals of LCS, which is crazy. But this was also back when we didn't have lower brackets in the LCS, remember? Like, this was back when you simply had to just go all the way up consistently. Immortals, his first year here, they lost to TSM in the upset fashion. In the next split with Immortals, they lost to Cloud9. So they also they went to the 3rd place match twice that year. 2017 went to SKT, successful year on that year, Worlds Finals, MSI title, LCK trophy. That's probably his best year, actually.
Yeah,
he wasn't even the best player. He wasn't even the best player on that team. He was actually a detriment to their team, actually, to a certain extent during that year at various points. But imagine having a year like that: Worlds Finals, an LCK title, and an MSI trophy. That's ridiculous.
Wasn't that leading to like the Golden Road?
That was insane that year. If they hadn't lost to Samsung Galaxy, they would have won everything that year, actually. But wait a minute, what did the second place team that year? I think SKT was the second place team that year, or the first place team. Because who was the top?
No, they were the first place, because remember
I think you're right.
It was Samsung. It was Samsung.
No, they weren't. My bad. They lost to Longzhu. Remember? Longzhu was the best team. Longzhu was Khan. Yeah, they lost to Khan. That fucking sucks for them. They lost to Longzhu when Khan was like the best top player in the world for that little brief period that he was.
Yeah, but then didn't Longzhu get destroyed by Genji in the first round or something? It was like 3-0.
Yeah, a lot of people were predicting I thought that series was going to go the distance, honestly. But like everyone was predicting Longzhu to win Worlds. I think that team really should have realistically won Worlds, but they completely just choked in playoffs. That was ridiculous to look at, honestly. But yeah, man, Hooney's had a really good career. I mean, he's won trophies. He's been to Worlds Finals. I mean, how many players can say they've made Worlds Finals in their career? I mean, not all players can say that. But I think I think the narrative around him has been really all over the place, actually. Because you look at his play from like these past years, I don't know why teams kept signing him, honestly. I really, really don't know why teams kept signing this guy. Just not that good, actually.
Same reason why Stixay has a job.
I don't know how that guy's the most disgusting player to look at in the LCS. That's an old man walking on the Rift. Plays abysmal.
He's still playing, and Double Lift is not. Think about that.
To be fair, Aftermoon has still been competitive in a lot of his splits, though, too.
Stop it.
You're a crap. Oh, because he's black. Oh, it's because he's black.
He's just trying to pay for his. No, I know. Honestly, I don't know. Like even I remember like Pole Belter saying he deserves to be paid like Bjergsen. I'm like, what the hell have you done?
I mean, his champion. I mean, are you talking about just domestically? His domestic titles ramp up.
Bro, he got carried by TL. Stop it.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, hey, let's be honest. He won his trophy on CLG. I mean, all of his wins came with Double Lift, right? Yeah, all his wins came with Double Lift, actually. But then again, there's a reason why Double Lift wanted guys like him and Xmithy, though. Like, I don't agree with people when they put Blabber over Xmithy. I'm like, that's trolling. You are completely trolling with that. Like, Xmithy had a much longer career, much more domestic championship success, which is what the LCS top fives are based around. Domestic success, Xmithy has much more, not just a clutch factor. He's just a much better fit for his team. Yeah, Blabber has higher highs, but that has not contributed to Blabber winning a lot more trophies.
But I can respect Hooney. I mean, he's 24, so he must have been 17 when he started.
Yeah, he was a backup on SKT, I remember what people said.
Yeah, so if you think about it, that's still pretty young for retiring, considering what Otawamne is like 28.
That guy's gonna play forever, dude. He's gonna play when he's 40.
There's another. Who else is like in the
make sure I bring this up too. People factor in Bjergsen retired after they got completely shit stomped at Worlds that year, and he came back. Just because he's retiring right now doesn't mean he can't come back. There's been plenty of players who retired, come back. Uzi, Bjergsen.
But honestly,
would you really think Hooney's done? Do you legitimately think he's done?
Yeah. With when you have a wrist injury, it's not fun. So, and I think at least he says, "Hey, I want to be a coach." He's not like, "Hey, I still think I can win Worlds." Like, that's delusion. But like, let's be honest. If Jensen was on TL, they're a first place team.
Oh yeah. Also, anyone who's watching right now may make sure to like the stream. Just hit the like button. That's all I ask for.
I mean, I think Bjergsen taking a year off, even though he's just not the same player.
Okay, I don't know if you watched the games from this past week. I think he played good, but the problem here is I don't think Bjergsen's been that dominant. That the image that people have of Bjergsen is an image of himself that I haven't seen in a very long time, though.
They think it's 2017 Bjergsen. Like, stop it.
Like, I think he was still good in 2018, somewhat 2018. He had a lot of problems 2018 no one brings up in that spring split. But I think still a little bit of 2018, 2019, after 2017, I think he was still very good, but I think he was the best mid laner, though. Because, literally, you remember that dominant split Cloud9 had? Niski was just beating the shit out of him. He completely just knocked him out consistently. And, like, how was Niski not on the top 5 LCS mid laners? How? Niski was always pretty good here. Not only that, Niski had one of the best runs with the team ever here. One of the best win records ever. Like, dude, I'm not even kidding. So, anyone who's watching right now, I'm not salty about that Power of Evil gets top 5. I think Power of Evil is a great player. I've always advocated for him, But how does Power of Evil get on top 5 LCS mid laners over Niski and Abadage? Now, I know Abadage just came in. Maybe it's recency. I'm not saying it. For myself, it's not recency biased, but I know that for other people, it might be. Back to the same people. Abadage comes over, makes 2 back-to-back final appearances, actually wins one of them. Power of Evil has made back-to-back finals. He made it with FlyQuest a while ago, but Power of Evil's not won anything. Every mid laner outside of Power of Evil on that top 5 list won trophies. Bjergsen's won 7, right? I think 7, 5, whatever. 5,
like
6.
6
Jensen's won 2. Pobolter's won 3. High's won 2. The only mid laner on the top 5 list hasn't won shit. Now, I'm not saying making finals is bad or anything. I'm not downplaying that. I know it's hard itself to make finals in general. I understand that. But when you have players like Niski, players like Abadage, who have actually won titles, who've actually impacted the league pretty consistently, I think they should be on the list over Power People, though. You know? Or you could even throw Jojo Pion in there somewhere. Like, he came in his first split and he won a title. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like Power of Evil. I think he's really good. But the problem here is, like, why is everybody outside of him has won something in the league itself, you know? But I think they're factoring in longevity, and that's fair too, you know? But it's just, I don't know. Maybe, like, I knew they were going to pick Bjergsen over Jensen. It's just LCS, right? So it's just going to be impact on the LCS itself, right? But that's just me, personally, you know? Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Kevin Polo, what's up, man? CLG, it's over for the yeah. I'll be definitely ripping into Cloud9 in just a moment, buddy. I want to just destroy them right now. Abysmal gameplay from Cloud9 recently. Holy shit. But yeah, we'll go over all that LCS top 5 stuff next week. And then before playoffs, we'll also have our like MVP, MIP, all pro teams actually, you know. But yeah, that's it right there. Cooney is retired for everyone who's watching. He's done for the moment. Streaming, casting, coaching, whatever he wants to do.
Oh, he hasn't. Yeah, he said he has an interest in coaching.
So, I mean, would TSM keep him on next year for their coaching staff?
I think he has. I think he has a bunch. I would rather like I said. I think he did. People think he like. I get it. Like, how's he been around so long? But we got to remember, like, Double If was 28. Like, there's a lot of players that are still playing that are competitive. Him, like, retiring at 24 is not.
Yeah, dude.
It's not, like, out of the realm, and he still can do a lot. And at least he's not like Darshan that still thought he still got, like, still thinks he, like, I'm not trying to be rude to Darshan, but
like, Double If was, what, 28? Still getting offers? He literally said he still got offers. I mean, you know. Like, there's a reason why Impact's been around for as long as he has. He's still pretty relatively good. Like, there are certain players you can kind of understand, okay, they're not going to get offers anytime soon. Like, it's crazy how, like, when someone brought it up to me, Pobelter has not been in the league. The guy that just made the top 5 list in the LCS of all time, guys, we're talking all time, they put Pobelter as number 3, I think, right? Or number 4, whatever. He made top 5. One of the best mid laners that the league recognizes as a top 5 prospect in the league ever. A North American mid laner too of that. Won 3 titles, went to Worlds consistently, international events, right? He's not even in the LCS. Isn't that crazy to think about?
No.
Highs on the broadcasting team. Power of Evil, Jensen, and Bjergsen are obviously still playing because they're just good players in general. But that's crazy that Pobelter is not in the league anymore, and despite him being recognized as a top 5 mid in the history of the LCS. That's ridiculous. You know? I just find it suspect that, you know, players like Niski and Abadage don't make it when they clearly were very dominant when they came over, you know? Like, more dominant than Power of Evil. Power of Evil hasn't really never had a dominant split consistently, you know? Yeah. Oh, Majestic, he's coaching right now. He's coaching for TSM Academy, so that's why he's not playing right now. But if Smithy's done playing enough in his career, he doesn't really do anymore. Like, if Smithy came back, he'd be like, all right, dude, just stop. Basically, that's another Visit Chachi situation. Bro.
Stop it. I don't understand how Visit Chachi gets so much, but yet people forget. Like, I put this in perspective. Australis was 3-16 last week.
To be fair, if you flip that record, it's 16-3. To be fair.
3-16. That's bad. So I'm trying to figure out when.
Also, yeah, I got what you were saying there too. Yeah, the number 1 jungler of all time, I guess for the LCS, is not playing.
Yeah, that's too. I think with Cooney had a great career. He's won titles. He's played in all the major regions. He's played for all the major teams. He's played for TSM. He's played for Fnatic. He's played for SKT.
It's crazy.
Like, not many players can say
he was
that.
Just never in the LPL, right? Yeah, he was never in the LPL.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't play in LPL. That's the only reason he didn't play in. But that's a pretty good career. He's been to MSIs. He's been to IEMs. He's been to Worlds. Yeah. So he has nothing. He won an MSI. And he has nothing really to. I think he really wanted a domestic.
I think the LCS title is the one that people will look back and go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that would have made he would have won 3 titles.
Yeah, it was back in the day when playoffs only had the not lower bracket system. Because back when he flopped, quote unquote, flopped in the LCS at his prime, it was back when the playoff system didn't have a double elimination. This was back when you have to literally just win until you win the trophy. Actually, and then, the Immortals flopped that year, and then they went to SKT. Echo Fox, I don't think was the best decision for him, but I think that team, that split, potentially could have made the finals, but, they faced Team Liquid, who was the better team, and you factor in if Echo Fox had faced maybe a Clutch Gaming, they would have made it probably to the finals, but, that's how it works right there, guys. All right, let's go to the LCS 2022 Summer Split standings as they stand right now. This week coming up, we have the Super Week. There's going to be a lot of crazy games up on here. TSM versus CLG. El Asico coming up, right? Well, I mean, CLG's been performing pretty well. TSM has been pretty hit or miss, but TSM should still be a lock for playoffs, actually. Cloud9 definitely is a team I want to talk about right now when I go over the standings. TSM versus Cloud9, long-standing rivalry in the LCS. Right now, could go pretty much either way right now between the two. Last time they did face each other, C9 did handily destroy them, so we'll have to see how that goes. Team Liquid having a little bit of a bounce back, and now one of the other match of the weeks, Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves, Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. Lots of match of the weeks right here. The first day, TSM versus CLG. I also think that FlyQuest versus 100 Thieves is also a really key, interesting matchup as well, because FlyQuest has now been having a drop in the standings, actually, and then you also have 100 Thieves pretty much kind of on this nice winning streak now that they've been completely just dominating teams. I know there's some parity around 100 Thieves right now, considering people think they're boring, but I don't think that's true at all. I think they're just extremely dominant in the early game. They know how they want to play in the map in the early game, and they know how they want to play around objective timers. I mean, 100 Thieves games are about to be insane right now. And the problem here is the teams like Dignitas, Golden Guardians, Immortals right now. Immortals, Golden Guardians, and Dignitas, so much to say with these teams right now. But those are the key matchups to look at this past week. There's a lot of key ones that they need. The problem with TSM is pretty much a lock to make it to playoffs as probably like the 7th seed, because they have a 2-game lead over Dig. They have a 1-game lead over Golden Guardians and Immortals. And TSM, let's say they lose to Cloud9. Let's say they lose to Cloud9. They face CLG. Maybe winnable for them. CLG has been picking up steam recently in the last few games, but they do face FlyQuest. So TSM, if they go 2-1, I'm not surprised, and they'll definitely make playoffs, actually. But the bottom teams of the league, man,
that's sad. Well, I mean, isn't it that isn't 8 teams for playoffs anyway? So wouldn't they be in the lower bracket?
Yeah. So 7th and 8th place automatically don't get that chance to go to a lower bracket. So whoever they face, if they lose, they get knocked out. So I know people brought that up, 8 teams make playoffs. To be fair, a 7th and 8th place team, let's be honest here, guys. Out of all the splits we've had a lower bracket run, let's be honest here. The 7th and 8th place teams have never did jack shit. They've literally just been knocked out round 1. It's
right.
So, I would love if TSM maybe got their shit together. Maybe in the BO5 situation, they're a lot better than BO1s. Maybe. But I don't think if they make playoffs, they're doing anything, really. I might be wrong. Maybe they might make the run. Who knows? Anything's possible. But, guys, you have to factor in all the splits we've had, lower brackets, 7th and 8th place teams have been jack shit. They've done nothing. They've literally been knocked out first round like most people expect them to be, So let's start with the bottom of the standings. Dignitas, they ended up winning, I think, against Immortals, actually. Yeah, they won against Immortals, which was pretty clutch for them. The fact that Dignitas, of all teams right now, is still actually able to make playoffs is ridiculous. Like, you guys kind of have to factor this in. Out of all these later wins coming off from some of these teams right now, these teams have been performing exceptionally bad. You know, a team basically finishing 7-11 if they go 3-0 could potentially make playoffs. That's ridiculous. You could have literally a sub 50% win record and still make playoffs. That's ridiculous. But like I said before, you're a 7th and 8th place team. I don't expect you to actually do anything in playoffs anyway. I mean, you might be able to maybe make the miracle run because people need to factor in BO5s to BO1s is much different. So it's just how you think of that in itself. But Dignitas, I just don't really think they're a good team. There's nothing really substantially great about them. Blue, I think, is their only bright spot on the team. I mean, Zayus looked pretty awful. I mean, Biofrost tries to do stuff, but is hindered kind of like by not having any synergy with Spawn. Spawn and Biofrost are not exactly a horrible bot lane, but it's like they've come together way too late.
What happened to Neo?
He just got benched. They probably thought their season was over, so they wanted to try out some new players that they might sell off to another team if they perform better. I think that's the only reason why. Because Neo, I thought he was always Neo's another ADC that people always underlooked and underrated. I thought he was always solid. He's played good, I think, in every single split he's been a part of that I've seen. I don't think he's really had anything horrible. He's always been like a top 5 ADC in the league, personally, to me.
The problem with these orgs is that I think at this point these orgs need to start looking at the ERL regions and bringing over like 2 imports from like rookies from over there, and then maybe using some rookies out of academy, because they're just cycling these players and it's not much happening. Like
they're trying to do the whole like diamond on the road kind of thing, you know. Where they're thinking to themselves, okay, if Spawn performs very well, maybe a top LCS org will look at that and pay some big money for them, right? That's the only reason why they're doing it. Why would they bench Neo then? Or they think the season's over?
Like CLG season is an anomaly. Like they're not like, come on, let's be like, no offense to any CLG fans out there, but do you really think CLG could be like a T1, a Mad Lions, a V5 if they were a top esports into that? Like, come on, let's be really.
Well, this is for LCS, so I don't think that. I mean, like, I'll say this. Dignitas, to me right now, guys. I mean, Hoon is a pretty bad player, all things considered. I mean, I don't know why he's considered. I don't know why Dignitas put that guy in over Gamsu to begin with, when he's definitely the worst player by comparison. Nothing about their team is really significantly good. I mean, their early games are pretty shitty. Like, I hope this team doesn't make playoffs. I mean, if this team made playoffs, holy fucking shit. I'm pretty sure they can't. There's no way. I'm pretty sure they can't. But then again, if they somehow, some world make playoffs, I'm just dead inside, actually.
I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think at this point, with teams performing so bad, and like at least LEC is a little different. And I'm not trying to pivot to LEC. I'm just saying, like, if you compare LEC to LCS in regards to like like super weak in LEC, literally any team that's not BDS can make playoffs.
Yeah.
In super weak. That is like, well, outside of Mad Lions already, I believe have locked in playoffs. But like the thing from 2 to 9, any team can like, depending upon standings, because head to heads, the standings are so close. Like you see the parity here. It's like honestly, if you looked at this season, outside of, we knew TSM wasn't going to be top 5s, so that's a given.
TSM are pretty much right where we expected, 7th place,
6, maybe 5th if they stole some wins, right? So nobody expected CLG to be up top there. We probably saw like EG being 4th, 3rd, and like TL. So like, but like Cloud, look where Cloud9 is. Cloud9 is normally 2nd. So it just says to me that either there's a regression or or they're just like I don't know if I mean I just can't see like Dignitas like to me when a team can't even go like 6 and so like to me they should be like 6 and 9. Like a lot of those teams like look how long Revenge has been around. Look how like I just like I really think they should put back in the whole. I think you would remember MSK where, if they perform bad, another team would take their spot. I forgot what that was called back in the day.
Oh, you're talking about.
Why did you do this so late?
Oh, hello, sir.
God damn.
God, I just don't like Canadians. But yes, what I was going to bring up was, if you perform very badly for like 4 splits in a row, they could kick you out. But we know they would never.
Promotion. Yeah, they should bring that back because teams wouldn't be playing like that.
No, yeah, true.
I mean, they should kick Golden Guardians out.
So that's my thing with Dignitas, but everyone wanted me to talk about Cloud9. They're like, you're the Cloud9 fan. How do you feel with their gameplay? They're playing fucking horrible. The team is... I don't know what the fuck's going on. All right, so here's my thing. They honestly have not played very well this split at all. And I've seen every split most of these guys have played. I've seen every split Jensen's played. I've seen every split Blabber's played. I've seen, even from the Oceanic region, when I used to watch that shitty region, I've seen almost every split Fletch has played. I've seen every split Sven has played since he first started back in EU back in 2015. Berserker, I've only seen this year. So this split from Cloud9's usually like the second place team, right? Cloud9's usually a second place team competing for first. Usually top 4, right? Cloud9's usually top 4.
Yeah, and then usually end up in third because of the dumb championship points.
Then this split, they really have not played well this split. Like, I'm not quoting Multi-Topic, who's probably not watching this, but if you do, I'm quoting him. Let's be honest here. Everyone's watching as a Cloud9 fan. The team has not performed very well at all this split. There were games they could have lost to Dignitas. There were games they legitimately could have lost to Dignitas. There were games they could have legitimately lost to Golden Guardians. And if these teams were not as dog shit as they are, Cloud9 would actually be even in a worse spot than they are right now. You know? Like, I don't know what's going on. I think maybe people had too much faith in some of these players. I still think Jensen, it's rare for him. Below middle of the pack. He's not had any standout games. Jensen has had one standout game, and that was in week 1 when he was playing Victor against Dojo Pion, the game where they could have probably actually won, but their bot lane was running around with their heads off, actually.
I mean, I think he had like 2 other good games.
But he's not been Jensen that we know, the top guy in the league.
Yeah, but I mean, did you really expect that, though? Because in his 2 years on Team Liquid, he was really not that good. He was quite overrated on Team Liquid.
But in playoffs, he got it together. So that's kind of where you see that. Like in regular season,
this team was better than him.
Which are you talking about? You got to give me a year.
Both years.
Which year?
All years when he was on Team Liquid.
Team Liquid. Oh, okay.
Pretty much besides like maybe the most recent year, I'd say he was good in playoffs. Other than that, like
he's not been. It's weird for him. Like some weeks he'll look really good, some weeks he won't look really good. Some weeks he'll pop off really hard. Some weeks he just basically just fuck all.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, though, like, do you really think he's going to stick around? This is just a rental, like a band-aid for the time being. And
maybe they might treat it like Bjergsen, because like Bjergsen came back and he wasn't that good when he first came out of retirement. So maybe they might give him another
not
split.
if they miss Worlds. And again, Blabber outside of his comfort picks and Max Waldo are easily the biggest issues right now. I've had it with Blabber. All right, I like,
I was already out on him a while ago.
No,
you were the one batting for him. I was already out.
No, he's inconsistent, but he's always had those high highs, and he would always turn it around at the right moment. It always just feels like they
settle for him, though. It just feels like they've been settling for this guy.
Because there are better upgrades to get in other positions. He was still like a top 2 jungler in LCS, even with his inconsistencies and stuff. It was still great, but now I'm saying now it's way too like. This is like Mickey on his like fucking LCK season where he's so bad he retired. Like this is now just like he's just keep landing.
I want to show you guys this CLG game. I need to show like the 100 Thief games in my booty hole. I'm just kidding. The 100 Thieves game that happened earlier this week. Them losing to 100 Thieves is not a surprise. 100 Thieves are the better team. To me, they're the best team right now in the LCS actually. I think they're just the best team, and they've been popping out for so long. They've definitely ramped up now, and people had concerns with them, but they've pretty much have been all kind of this is all at this point.
Hey,
I want to show you guys
they
this
would
game.
Get first? Who said they would get first in regular season?
Let's
all pay attention to that Fnatic prediction, though.
Oh no! Wait! I'm pretty sure we had them first. No, we had TL third, and TL's tied for third right now.
Yeah.
We had it. Yeah, this was
Sean, I don't know about that Jensen statement because, like, if Jensen has done way more in his career, and it's still relevant, and like, and to be fair, they picked him up middle of this. They picked him up second half of the split when they've already been like he didn't. I don't think he. I'm not even sure if he got to go to career to boot camp with them and all that stuff. I'm not sure. You'll have to correct me.
I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying even with that, knowing that and those expectations, he's still been disappointed. And I'm not talking about like his past achievements. I just mean like his recent year. He was overhyped from in his most recent years. The other years, yeah, he was honestly like better than Bjergsen.
But I don't think anyone hyped him. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't think anyone hyped him up. I think they were just surprised that he wasn't.
Well, at least MSK has calling him the best mid laner in the LCS still, and people giving him like MVP in 2019 summer playoffs.
What are you talking about? In 2019, I thought he played good when it came to the playoff scenario. He was also still dominant in the regular season. You're talking about 2020 when he did perform very well.
No, 2019 playoffs, he was good, but he wasn't great. But for most of that year in 2019, like outside of the playoffs, he struggled actually on Team Liquid. A lot of people don't remember that.
I'm just saying.
I remember weeks where he was just completely dominating people. I don't remember any of that, honestly.
But it was inconsistent.
I get
what you're saying. 2020, I can give you that, but he still picked it up toward the very back end of the split, though. They didn't make playoffs, but double lift problems, right? So I want to go over more of why this team isn't good. No, you guys are crazy. Blabber has not been actually what you've been thinking for a while. He's actually not been that good. Like, I don't know. Blabber could literally run in a game, sprint it as hard as he did in this game, and people would still say he's the best jungler. That's ridiculous.
I mean, would you say it's like a Malrain situation where it's just what the team? It's not the player; it's just the strategy. Like if you could put a better jungler in that.
Because I know you asked me this, dude. It's a combination of two things. I don't think it's all just based around Max Waldo because that's ridiculous, or even just the coaching staff.
No,
the coaching staff doesn't make you do this.
No, but his drafts are fucking shit, though.
All right, so let's go over the first play. The first play, because no coach is gonna make you do this. Right, so right here they're trying to invade. Everyone can see this right here, right?
Yeah,
so right here they do not win this. People don't think they do not win this. Okay, none of this comp they have right now, beside if Lucian was there, would help them win this trade right here.
Well, listen,
if you play Wukong into Trundle and you die as Trundle to Wukong this early, Trundle is useless, like you saw in the game. This is. No coach told Blabber to do this.
Well,
that is ridiculous.
Did they have vision on Dokla?
I don't think they did.
Okay, but
I can't see from this angle. But
maybe. That's why I say Blabber and Max Waldo. I'm sorry, but Max Waldo has been a main issue as well. Like,
but the problem here, dude, even if you draft, I say this bad, no coach is like go up there and just fucking die to the fucking
jungler. That's Blabber's stupidity.
That's why I say show me the draft? Can you show me?
Yeah, I got you. That's right now. Yeah, I got you. Here you go.
Okay. First of all, this draft is doo-doo. Here's why. Why are they not playing? Like, I don't see. Ornn didn't get banned. Shyvana didn't get banned.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Nar's not off the table either.
Nar's not off the table. Gwen's available. What is with these? This is a solo queue draft.
They have Lucian Nami.
I'm not wrong.
LCS teams pick Lucian Nami and then completely sprint it. Like, if you guys watch LPL and LCK teams play Lucian Nami, you'll go like, "Damn, that's a pretty OP bot lane."
LCS makes it look bad.
Well, why are you playing Fiora right now? Like, I mean, like
I will say though, I think the Fiora or Nami pick was probably the player saying they want to play that.
It has to be a fudge thing.
That must like.
No, that has to be fudge in the draft having priority. He's like, I pick me Fiora, I can win it to Jace later on.
But why not just pick Shyvana that scales, hasn't engaged, and doesn't die?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Or-
He could pick
or-
Camille. He could pick Camille if you wanted to split push.
Yeah.
Or Orn like level 14.
Or it's literally not off the table. Or it's
Yeah, I mean,
literally
I would have
not
just
off the
picked
table.
Gwen. Every time he picks Gwen, it's like auto win.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he's a
pick-
really good Gwen player, actually.
Yeah, Gwen, Orn, Gnar, Shyvana, all these picks that are spammed.
People
in
don't even
LPL
factor in
and
what they even
LCK.
did. Do you know what they did in this draft? They blind picked Trundle and CLG went, oh, we'll just go Seraphine then.
Yeah.
We'll just go
Also,
Seraphine.
holy fuck. Can teams just like do for
Yeah,
once?
look
do
what
they know
Majestic
how
said.
like
He's right.
just ban Yone and fucking Azir and Palafox will play like shit. Those are like the main two champions.
Leave my boy Palafox alone. That's Palafaker.
No.
Leave my boy
I
alone.
give him credits due now.
He's actually played
been
really well
good.
these last few weeks.
Yeah,
He's played
again,
good.
the only reason why I've been memeing him all this time is just because, he deserved a chance and he did stuff like Jizuki that were better than other mids. It's just there were many mids that deserved that same chance, many more. It's just because he has the contacts and it's buddies, he gets the chance over other players, which I hates. But seriously, Azir or Yone at Bandos too, and he's not going to play the same.
My thing here with anyone who watched this live was they picked Trundle blind first pick, and then CLG goes, "I'll just play Jason to it because you just poke him out and you just win."
Listen, Blabber was sick of the Scuttle Crowd memes. Now he wants the red buff meme.
Red buff Blabber, holy shit, holy fuck. Then Blabber invades level 1, gets killed. Put factor in, if you die to Wukong that early, it was already GG. And I usually don't say that with games like that because anything can happen. But you die to Wukong like that early, it's GG. He did counter gank and he did get the buff back, but you saw the discrepancy in between what Blabber's doing. Blabber starts Rift Herald knowing he doesn't have priority to do that because Jensen is getting pushed up, Sven is roaming up. Right here, you don't even have the priority to do this, and Blabber gets instantly killed right there. So the fight is already starting off outnumbered, actually. The Seraphine, Karma poke, completely just destroyed them. I really don't know what was the draft decisions here from Cloud9. And also, I'm being honest here, guys, I don't think Sven's that good as a support. The problem here is people going, well, Huhi did it. Yeah, but when Huhi did it, he actually won a title. People need to factor this in. When Huhi did it for a little bit.
Wait, remember Huhi started on Golden Guardians. Gotta remember that.
Huhi actually showed promise of being a good support.
No, but he was garbage in the beginning.
Yes, but as splits went by, as more weeks went by, he got you could see he knew what he was doing, but it's obviously he wasn't that good at it. Sven showed none of that. He's actually shown none of that. Actually, he's actually doing worse. He's just played bad.
He's role swapped in his first. Like, I'll take examples from other people. Like, for instance, Gen X role swapped from
gross
from mid to top, right? And he's been putting up good stats no matter, even though his team's not the best right now. Fair enough, I'm not delusional about that. But like give him credit. It was either that or he'd be back in academy. If I was in his situation, I'd try to. Best.
I'm not knocking the guy for his decision, but he has had no standout games, dude. All he's played Yuumi, Tahm Kench, Nautilus, and Nami. Yumi's so broken.
Sounds like the meta.
Yumi's so broken. It's like
he's picking the most safe support champs in the meta, obviously.
Like I don't mind him picking meta champions. The problem here is he's not even looked good on meta champions, and especially the OP ones. And he did obviously he played Nautilus.
Hey, you got the flash out. Good job.
Like he's just not been that good. And I know people compared his swap to who. He's like, no, it's just because another player did something doesn't mean he can do it to the exact same fullest extent.
Let's go. Fuck.
And then Fudge, I don't know what he's doing this game. I thought that was just bad. I mean, Fudge played the best out of this game, but it wasn't saying much. Blabber was like 0 fucking 6 at a certain point. Dragging controls bad.
Swap contracts and tell him to do what Blabber does, and he would be much better. It's just.
So that's just my thing is like Blabber also played bad in the 100 Thieves game too. Like they had a really bad week. This was a really just horrible week from Cloud9. This is probably one of the worst weeks they've had in a very long time, actually. I can't imagine a week that was this bad in the last few years. I guess the one where they got exposed in that week with the Niski lineup that they had was then in Vulcan, but That's a few years ago at this point now, but this looks pretty concerning. Like them going like the highest they can finish now is what, like 11-7 in the split. Like if they get top 4, it's still fine, but them being a top 4 team right now is like, come on, like, are they really a top 4 team? They've had so many inconsistencies. They've not been impressive in the split. Their wins don't look that good. Some of the wins do come off the back of teams playing completely like shit at this point. You know, obviously, I'm still a Cloud9 fan, guys. I'm still gonna always root for them, but like, you gotta be honest, the team's not been playing good at all. Like they've been pretty bad most of the split, and it's been even in the only few wins that I could probably point out that they've won was the first time they faced 100 Thieves. That was pretty convincing, and when they played up against TSM the last time they played up against them. But that's when TSM literally just played Soul, who was also pretty bad in his first game. So, you know, I don't know right now what's going on with the team. Jensen hasn't really had the performances that a lot of the C9 fans are hoping. Sven's definitely not been a good support at all. Berserker and Fudge have been their best players, actually.
Both of these drafts are caca. I'm sorry. Like, you shouldn't be playing Jace right now. You shouldn't be playing Fiora. The Wukong, like, you shouldn't be playing. I'm sorry, like, this is not what the other regions are doing.
Well,
like,
Wukong is very boom or bust right now, but against
no. Actually, I'm sorry, Sean. I meant to say the Wukong and Trundle picks are fine, and Azir's fine. I get what Lucian Nami is normal, but why are you playing Seraphine?
Karma. In this draft, I think it works, like against Cloud9.
But like,
Seraphine poke against Trundle, you could just kite Trundle out. Seraphine and Karma poke, they just with Jace poke,
and they knew they would be. They knew they would be stupid.
Like, look at what they just did. Like, look at what they just did for anyone who's watching.
But honestly, if you're gonna go poke, get rid of freaking Yone, put Zoe, have Ornn.
That must have been a skill matchup though, because with Palfox this game on Yone actually played really well. That must have been he probably just asked for that.
I told you, all the champions like Azir and Yone or Yasuo, those are the ones he pops off on. Anything else he kind of struggles.
So this play. So they almost kill Contracts, but hey, shields and heals. Blabber just flashed and it dies. Good job, Blabber. Just, hey man, it is what it is at the end of the day, right, people? So they can't fight them because all they do is get caught out. CLG's comp just completely outpoke them. Then they got outdrafted by 100 Thieves too. It's like, this was a really, really bad week from them.
Max Waldo is easily the worst coach in Cloud9 history.
Good God, this man just, man, what if we had Max Waldo on this show? You say it to his face, right?
Yes, I would.
Oh my God.
It's just like whoever it was, like self-made brother or whoever did it.
LS gave Max Waldo high praise though, so.
I mean, hey, you have to say it about your friends, Warren. You can't just be like, man, he's fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he's the same guy who tried calling Neo bad this entire time throughout his 2 years just because he unfollowed him on Twitter.
Why are you playing Nyla? Are you on code?
Yeah. Oh, this Cloud9 draft against 100 Thieves. I played against Nyla in solo queue. I guess you'd say it's my level solo queue, but this champion is overrated as fuck. This champion does nothing. This champion is pathetic.
Champion probably needs buffs, to be quite honest.
This champion is dog shit. I get it. Why people like it, because it's her passive. That's really, really good. Cool.
But like,
nothing about her else is special.
This
champion is doo-doo.
Why are you not playing Zeri? Why are you not playing Jinx?
Didn't Zeri get nuts on this pre-Worlds patch though?
She's still good. Right? She's still good.
Zeri's really broken.
Or did they ban Aphelios?
Yeah, like Aphelios. Aphelios is still good. Heck, even Tristana is actually good. Sivir is good. Like, that was the only
ADC bans were Lucian, Callista.
They did it. What? Why didn't they? Oh my!
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying, Sean. Like, these guys.
ADCs were open. Zeri, Aphelios. You could have even picked Xayah, and that would have made more sense.
You know,
I think
I'm fine with Silas and like Sona, but I think
Silas is broken as fuck right now.
I think that they should have picked something other than like Wukong, something more tanky for the jungler, and maybe like Ornn top.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it
I think the Gnar is fine. I just don't see.
I just don't think it's fine in this draft.
The problem here also is they drafted low range against Sivir. outranges every single one of those champions. Sivir outranges all of them.
That's why they should have had Tristana or Jinx. That's what have been.
Yeah,
this was also the CLG draft. They literally drafted 5 short-range champions against 5 long-range champions.
Yeah, and then people gotta factor in. So why would they pick Nyla? Okay, basically they probably had success with Nyla and scrims, so they probably thought, let's just put it all on stage. We probably had a nice win rate with it in scrims this past week. Well, the factor in, teams play a lot differently on stage than they do in scrims. They play a lot more conservatively on stage sometimes than doing scrims. So that's the reason why the most likely picked it. They had a good win rate with it in scrims, or something like along those lines. I'd imagine
a player do that on Cloud9 always pick the newest champs and actually stomp with them outside of scrims, like when the first picking them in LCS is licorice. That's about it. Everybody else just fails.
What's up, Mr. 89? How you doing, buddy? Is Rammus viable? Rammus was, I don't know, honestly. No, I haven't seen Rammus viable in forever, honestly.
Oh yeah, just run it down mid. Come on.
I mean, Triss would have worked out better in this draft.
First of all,
Jinx would have been fine.
Triss is always going to be good because her range is extended, and she shreds towers. So you can never leave. Tristana can actually side lane because of her W jump.
But what was this communication? I really want to know what the comms were here.
I'm sorry, MSK. Just like Tarek is actually really good right now.
But, LPL teams actually picked Tarek.
But the thing is, the problem with pros is if they don't see another pro pick it, unless it's like a comfort pick, they don't want to try it. I get Nyla. Okay, fair enough. But I still would rather pick a meta like a Zeri still is better to me, or a Philios than a Nyla. Nyla seems very niche to me. And like Tarek has been he used to be played and then he's been on the right. Heck, Tarek, believe it or not, Tarek Jumble is actually really good, but nobody wants to play it because they think it would be trolled.
The part about this part of the game is Blabber tries to go up for a gank and gets completely ran down. Blabber just getting completely ran down. Name a more iconic duo. I don't know right now. Someday, honestly, MVP candidate for 100 Thieves, closer MVP candidate right now for them. 100 Thieves have definitely been playing good. I'm not gonna, obviously say anything bad about them right now. They're on a 7-game win streak right now. They've honestly picked it up, because the first part of the split they kind of had some iffy-ish wins, but then around week 3 or 4 they started picking it up, and they definitely look really strong now. They look like the best team right now in the LCS. I know some people have little hype for them, which is weird because they think they're boring. I don't know where they get that. They have really explosive early games. They always play incredibly fast. It's just
where were these Reaper drafts on Cloud9 where they just could have just played it safe and won all those titles, and then Reaper just pull out like the Twitch and stuff.
Yeah, like the old ex-C9 head coach Reaper is on 100 Thieves right now, going like, "Damn, goodbye, Jack. Wonk dong, chomp dong." Just sitting there, just going.
Jesus Christ, God, I'm wondering how this off season for Cloud9 is going to be. Like, Jesus fuck, they could get like Humanoid or Larson. They could.
I don't know how this is going to go for them right now because, okay, the off season is really. I think a little
something tells me Berserker might be gone just to make room for an import slot, and then just put like an NA.
Hot take. I know I said this last year. Hot take. This is really crazy right now because it's still really far off from off season. Off season is not until November this year, or November usually. I think Blabber is probably done. I think this is last year for Blabber on Cloud9 potentially.
No, that's not a hot take. That it better be his last year.
Guys,
this is the last straw. This is the last nail of the coffin. These 2 games.
I have a feeling that Gen-X is going to come to NA.
Goodbye.
Hopefully not on Cloud9. But no, he would play on like Immortals or something.
Good.
If he did,
he can go to Dignitas and sit there and make millions of dollars.
Stop it. His stats are. Do you know that
that isn't an insult? That's just saying that that's the best spot for him right now.
No.
Oh damn.
No. I wasn't gonna go on you. I was gonna say I actually wasn't gonna go off on you. I was gonna say that his stats have been his laning stats. This is not coming from me. This is coming from LEC analysts and casters. Since he's been, it's been comparable to Alfari. If that's not a good high praise as a laner, as a top laner, and even though Alfari's getting flack all the time, no matter what, that to me says you have.
Yeah, listen, I don't. I said the previous years he's good. All right, I don't care how his laning is. He's whatever it is. He doesn't have it all together. He's been bad right now. I don't care if his laning's good.
Well,
or
I mean,
not.
if your team's not good, like
no, it's not just his team. He actually just looks horrendous. As you guys tried saying with Kenby, he just looks horrendous by himself.
Yeah. Kenvi on his own still doesn't even look that good. But that's when we're going to get to Immortal. So the last thing about Cloud9, guys, is Sven, I don't think it's honestly that good a support. I
mean, I'll say though, their academy jungler that been popping off lately.
Why don't they play Destiny? Maybe they'll play Destiny.
No, he's fucking trash. Don't. But no, I think they could honestly give their academy jungler like a chance next year. Maybe have him and Blabber compete head to head in games, and then
my thing here right now is like even in week 1, you know how they played and they went 0-3. To be fair, they had 3/5 of their roster. It wasn't like they had like this one player.
They just need to start taking. They need to take a page out of Astralis in the sense of picking up like a Korean support that's in like a challenger.
Well, no, I was going to get to that. I think they're going to import a support. I think they're going to import a support next year, and then that might leave Berserker like just out in the same way Summit was, unless they keep Jensen.
Oh yeah, Majestic says we play the fight with. Yes, I will. No problem. You want to say analyze it? Oh, sure. Watching Cloud9 just throw consistently. Yeah, that's great. I'm just fucking with you guys. Okay, so right here they start Baron because I remember they got the pick on closer. So usually LCS teams get to pick on jungler. You go to the Baron. So right here, what does Jensen do? Jensen right here just gets completely poked out by every single person.
What
uses his Zonya's flashes, dies.
It was like looking the other way. It's like turn around. It's like he was playing peekaboo with them.
Okay, I see what you mean. Jensen tried to flank FBI right here.
No, just go for Summit.
So right here, Jensen tries to flank. He's gonna most likely go after FBI. Someday's coming back because he TP'd back. Abdaga's right here getting the Rift Scuttle. Then Jensen, who already has like no health, gets completely.
What is he doing? He's like playing peekaboo with them.
Why did he just go around the other way? You should go the other way.
This is a Blabber Baron, if I've ever seen one. This is what always happens.
Because this is my thing. You know how Silas can dash over walls? Why not just dash over the wall? But it still wouldn't have mattered because Sivir potentially would get a pentakill right here.
Don't worry. Listen, guys. I'm sure Blabber will turn around. Okay, never mind.
Oops. Blabber turning it around. Don't give me hope.
No. I thought he for sure he was going to turn her around on 1 HP. God damn it.
Yeah, that was.
Get him, Fudge. Let's go.
There you go. There, he's gonna make it out.
Come on, Fudge. Get him.
There you go. Oh, Flash dead. Jesus
so
Christ.
Close.
Yeah, this game was just domination for 100 Thieves. If 100 Thieves win the summer split, I'm not surprised. If EG win, not surprised. Either TL, EG, or 100 Thieves right now, the top 3 teams. If either of them win, I'm not surprised. Do I think Cloud9
they're not winning the split? CLG is going to go 0-3 in the playoffs.
I said EG. Are you deaf? Are you KDOT?
No, I don't.
Are you KDOT? What?
What the heck? Well, Jensen got fat. Oh, wow.
And again, if they picked a Felios and like a tankier jungler or something like Trundle, then I think that would have been an alright draft. But Waldo doesn't know how to do shit. Anyway, the good thing at least is top 6, and they at least get that like open and playoff round instead of like one loss being around.
Think about this, guys. Right? Cloud9 has always performed in playoffs, so maybe we might see playoffs Cloud9, which is not good because they only got one chance, right? If
they make top 6, they're good. They'll have an extra life.
Yeah. So I think maybe the play, and if they can get in a lot of games, like I don't know, like how TSM, I can see like it's not. I'm not saying TSM's going.
I mean, yeah, it is a possibility because even though CLG's been playing this, we haven't really seen them in best of 5s yet. So
right.
Not as good. And then Team L, unless they start playing again like they played this week. I mean, Cloud9, I would say have been better than them this split so far.
Right,
Yeah,
like
my thing here is, like, CLG are playing good right now, but we have not seen a team in a best of 5 yet. And I do think experience does carry some weight in BO5s. Or
Yeah, we
CLG,
saw it with Dig.
Yeah, like, that's my thing here. And all Team Liquid, for all the TL fans we have, TL did play really well this week. They did. And they definitely showed this is the Team Liquid people expected coming into the season. Now, I hope Team Liquid keeps up this level of performance in the Super Week going into the playoffs. I really hope they do. But I think it's good to see that right now, because seeing them perform very badly with this caliber of a roster was just like mind-blowing. Like, what the fuck's going on? Evil Geniuses, they lost to Team... EG ended up having TL's number most of the year, but EG ended up losing to Team Liquid finally. TL getting over that little hump they had of just losing to EG consistently throughout this past year, from the LCS 2022 Spring Split playoffs, third place match, actually. And then looking at EG right now, I think one of the players had gotten COVID. I think pretty sure was Inspired, actually. So, oh my goodness. Sorry. Sean, you go.
Damn, yeah, somebody tried like carjacking just now, but
go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
I mean, we were talking about Team L.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, for some reason, I feel like it's just going to be like last year and the year before, where they win, like, a couple playoff rounds, just from the experience, and make it into Worlds as one of the 3 seeds, even though they really don't deserve it and have not been playing like a top 3 team at all. But either way, I think CLG's been better. I think EG's been better. I think C9's been better. I think 100 Thieves been better.
You think even in C9's wonky season, they've been better
yes,
than
yes, they have.
I agree. I agree with that. Even though I catch some game.
And please remember, if it wasn't for Kane and Destiny needing to play them, if they played just like Sven and fucking like who was their other who was Wixie or something in that first week, they probably would have went 3-0 with how they played, because they played better than all 3 of those teams in the all 3 of those games. It was just their bot lane that solo lost them all 3 of those games. So they would be 11 wins right now, third.
Because my thing here is, I think 100 Thieves right now, to me, them and Evil Geniuses are top 2 teams right now. CLG on a 5-game winning streak. That's fucking insane. But I don't know how much they can keep this up, though. Like, are people too down on them because you're hoping that it's CLG, they'll just fucking flop? Or
no, I
don't
think
know.
they're legit. I think they're legit. I don't know if they're gonna make. I don't know if they're gonna make Worlds, and I don't know if they're gonna falter. I don't know if they're a falter in best of 5, but yes, they're legitimately a very good team. Like, what do you want
to say?
Get out
of here, man. Get out of here.
And they've been playing to their strengths.
They've had. Let's think. At least as badly as the CLG players to me are not like insane, right? But I do have to give them credit. The coaching staff gives the players the exact champions they need to succeed.
Yes, and they know how to play around the map. Like, Dopa's not a great top laner, but with how the champs he plays and what he does in the game, knows what to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say?
We have another key matchup this watch week too. 100 Thieves versus CLG. So one of their win streaks is getting snapped. Let's say if CLG beats TSM. If CLG beats TSM, that's okay, and they go into the next day. These two are on a win streak. So CLG would be on what? 6-game win streak, 100 Thieves 8-game win streak. One of these win streaks is getting snapped.
But
that's gonna be fucking crazy. Yeah, go ahead, Warren. Sorry.
I'm just saying, like, for LCS standards, they're quote unquote good. I think there's a lot of signings this year that thought that were going to be really good that didn't. Personally, like, I'm not going to be surprised if Whippo and Hansaman leave. I wouldn't be surprised if those 2 players leave, to be quite honest with you. Honestly, if I had to pick 3 teams, I'm picking EG, 100 Thieves, and Cloud9 to represent me at Worlds. I'm not picking CLG, man. I'm not doing it. I just don't.
You don't think that in playoffs they could potentially upset?
I would bet my next. Donate.
Your neck? You're gonna bet your neck?
I would donate literally $300 if they won to you if they won the split. That's how much I don't believe in that.
Oh no! I don't. Look, this is my thing. Because Worlds is still kind of a little bit away after playoffs. I don't know. The only confident teams right now that I could probably put my faith into to make Worlds right now, not even Cloud9, 100 Thieves and EG are the only teams that I would be confident right now in making Worlds. Well, it's because both these teams right now have an identity. They know how they want to play the game. Actually, CLG, it's all based around CLG's past history. Where like maybe it all falls apart. Team Liquid only recently, just this past week, started playing like the team people expected coming in. Cloud9's just been wherever the fuck they've been since this fucking split started. So,
well, I mean, I think if CLG makes Worlds, I think they'll either play like how LMQ did when they were at Worlds, where they stuck to their style, knew what they wanted still, and put up a good fight against all the top teams, and got 2 wins in a super tough group, or they're gonna play like fucking Clutch Gaming, one of the two.
But Sean,
CLG's chances to go to Worlds.
At some point, I'm not trying to be rude. And I get what you're saying. I respect everything you just said, and I get it, and I respect if the team play their style. But after a while, going 2 in, because I don't remember how many games they play in the group stage. I think it's so going 2.
Play a total of 6 altogether. Yeah.
Yeah. So going 2 and 4, like come on, man. Like that's why I would rather. At least I know with Cloud9's.
You're missing my point. I'm not saying like the right. I'm just saying how they would play. Did you watch LMQ play at Worlds?
I didn't start watching around that time.
They stuck to their style like CLG, which hopefully they would do if they played at Worlds, and they looked competitive in all of the games, and they made all of them close, and they won 2 of them. And it's not just 2 and 4 in a regular group. That was 2 and 4 in an actual group of death. All 3 of the teams they faced were like fucking first seed dominant teams from like major regions, and they went like 2-0 and then lost 4 in a row. But they put up a good fight, and they continued playing their style, not just faltered and try playing in the meta and what other teams are playing. I'm saying either they'll play very good like that, and the best they can, and for like an unexperienced team like that, or they'll play as shit as Clutch Game and falter.
I have a question. Do you think all the major regions should have 4 slots?
I mean, I think they should expand the thing in general. I think all 4 of them should have 4 seeds, and they should just expand LEC, LCK, LCS to at least 12 teams. And then I think some of the minor region teams should have an extra seed as well. And then, just make the play-ins bigger, honestly. And then maybe have like a certain champion pool and play-ins for the minor region teams. And they could honestly add like other countries if they wanted to, or just combine some. Like I'm surprised like all the Middle Eastern countries and region and player there, like they have their own structured leagues and stuff, and a lot of them go to Turkey. I don't know why they don't just combine them as Turkish residents, and like they did with Oceania, and when they for a minute with NA, when they folded.
So my last thing for this week, we're just wrapping up talking about the teams, is FlyQuest 4-game losing streak. They did the exact same thing with XL happened with FlyQuest. They came in pretty strong, then just completely faltered. So they had this certain strategy they were doing every single game, and they completely just started getting completely shit stomped.
I knew this would happen again. They're 6. That's it. Like they're not that good. Like again, how do I say? Like again, Takuli, again, as much as I thought he was great last year and great this year, again, like that's mainly just like the Niski thing with Mad Lions. You're mainly just like thinking about what he provides to his team and and stuff like that. Not actually like how he is like up against one-on-one against like other mid laners, because he really isn't like that dominant against them. He honestly loses a lot of lanes. Like
my thing here is people have looked at you can exploit Philip in lane. The bot lane is not exactly strong, but they're not like shitty either. They're just middle of the pack. Takuli, if he's not carrying, if he's not on Orianna, Zoe, Silas, Azir, if he plays like a secondary mid laner, they don't look that good either. But even on certain carry mid laners, even if he is having a good game, Jose Diodo's basically running it down. They don't have a good game at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think Philip is kind of like in the solo stages where he's good. It's just like
teams this week were really abusing Solo.
He gets too over aggressive and like trying to flex, and teams take advantage of it, and is unexperienced.
Like against all the TSM games this past week, even the Dignitas games, like Solo was going to be a real weak point for TSM. Like he just is. They're going to consistently gank him.
Yeah, but at least he knows like what the team needs, and what they need around the map.
Stop telling your hoodlum friends to break in cars.
Jesus fuck. Yeah, carjacking. Yeah, God, I'm so mad Immortals lost that game to Dig. Just I don't know what happened. They must have like drank sake the night before, and then. But Jesus fuck, that they should have won then. In that pit, they would be in a playoff spot, which they should be. But anyway, hopefully they still make it, because over Golden Guardians, especially right now. Which, by the way, I did want to talk about that. Like what
Golden Guardians? Yeah, let's talk about that. So,
what did you guys think about the sub out?
6-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Right. I told you guys this last year. Leader had not been playing good on that Team Vitality team. They brought him over. I still think,
and they were last place. Golden Guardians Academy is last place, and he wasn't playing that good at all.
Like I still think maybe if you give him a few more games, or maybe a full split, we can see. But even from the Team Vitality team last year, he wasn't playing that good. I know the style he has can be very effective in the right meta. Right now, when the champions are Azir, Silas.
Yeah, this is not the meta. Like, there's points where I'm like, okay, I can kind of see what they were thinking. Then there's other points where I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And again, now, the main thing I talk about with why they might do this is the chemistry with River. And I would say, yeah, I can definitely see the chemistry with River is better than with a Blaze Olive, but still, it's not enough to like.
Because I know people brought up the whole Price Talker
was one of their best players.
Yeah, because I know people brought up the whole Price Talker angle, but guys, Price Talker has been no better than basically River. I mean, River has gotten them a little bit more early game stability, but it's not been anything great. I mean, River stabilizes the early game. That's fine. But if the rest of the map is still completely shit, it doesn't matter. Also, you guys know me. I love Licorice. I met the guy. Talked to the guy. He's a nice guy. I like Licorice a lot, but he's not been playing very well. Licorice has been pretty much one of the worst top laners this year. If you guys watch the games live, I don't think he's
one of the worst, but I agree. If
you watch the game, if you guys watch these games live, he's always down in CS. He's getting solo killed a lot. Like he's been one of the biggest detriments for the team that no one's brought up though. He's one of the hugest detriments for them right now.
Yeah, again, they probably were like, okay, yeah, Leader's been playing better together with River, and then also a Blaze Olive also kind of. The thing with a Blaze Olive is he does have like a selfish kind of place, not like selfish as he doesn't do, bad for his team, but he does kind of play just like isolated, unlike other mid laners. So maybe with his play style, so that and like with River, that's probably why they did it. But again, I just don't like it. He was literally their best player.
Majestic, it's not coming together. Fuck my ass.
Yeah, I'm glad Prismal finally got a chance, because he should have got a chance at when he was playing as an ADC all those years over people like fucking Lost, even last split when they started him over Prismal. But yeah, you role swap to support, and yep, he hasn't looked too great. I mean, he hasn't looked terrible under the circumstances, I guess, but yeah, not very good either. Maybe he'll improve. Yeah, I mean,
my thing here is also Stixxay is just not a good ADC anymore. I don't know what this org sees in this guy. This guy better be Uzi and scrims for them to keep playing Stixxay. That is some fucking crazy shit.
Sums up again. Him and Solo just sums up. It's all about the connections and just the timing. It's not all right. There are many better players, like hundreds, that could play.
Prismal, when he was playing
just as
Prismal, when he was in LCS Academy, was playing much better than Stixxay.
Yes, and lost, and they never gave him a chance. It's stupid, and then he just role swapped. I don't get it. I'm not saying he was great. He wasn't at all. He really wasn't that effective. Honestly, he was kind of like what's his name? That one fucking ADC, kind of like Ultec, but still better than those two and other ones that came before him. Same thing with Triple.
Also, that's another problem too. Is if you're adding in a new jungler and support in week 6. That's also not a good sign.
They did this before, remember?
Yeah, purely factoring
in FBI.
If you're swapping people in like that in the middle of the season toward the tail end of it, that means they're losing so badly in scrims. They factored in, I gotta swap some people out. This ain't working.
Maybe they're just a shit org.
They are. They've ruined like every career besides a Blaze Olive.
The last time, okay, let's be honest. When's the last time out of what was it? Was it 2021 that they had that good split? Like they really haven't done anything since what?
The only two good splits?
2015 with Skara.
Okay, the Froggen roster they had in that spring split got 5th. They lost to FlyQuest. They got 5th that split, I think. Yeah, they got 5th.
Yes, in best of 5 games. Yeah.
And then the split you're just talking about back in the 2020 summer split for the LCS when they got reverse swept by TSM, right? Yeah, they finished like 5th.
Yeah, I mean they should have went to Worlds over TSM and Cloud9.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where this org has always made somewhat decent decisions, but they've also made really more or less so they've always made really decisions.
Listen, I'm gonna say this for
no, fuck you.
Immortals, Dig, Golden Guardians. There's probably maybe at best one player they keep, and they get rid of the other 4.
Yeah, even when we're talking about Immortals, I don't see Revenge staying. I don't see Lost being. I definitely, if anyone thinks Lost is staying, you are a crackhead.
Yeah, they might keep Power. I don't. Was he extended? Power of Evil, wasn't he?
Power of Evil only signs 1-year contracts anyway.
Yeah, but wasn't he extended though?
No, not from what I've seen.
Okay, I guess I was thinking of another player like what's his name? Yeah, Chovy. I might have been thinking of. I don't know.
I mean, POV's gonna plan to stay here because he's. I think one more.
Yeah, he extended 2023. Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
okay. I didn't see.
It doesn't mean they can't strip, but whatever. I mean, they might keep him and Kenby, but that's about it.
But like, isn't 2 more years and he's a resident?
I think it's next year potentially.
I thought he would have been 1 by now. He's been playing here for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't see him going back to EU.
No, no. At this point, no. But that's all our discussion right now around these teams. I think our best teams right now are obviously still EG and 100 Thieves. Those are the 2 that I would say are a lot.
No, he is a North American resident right now.
And for TL, Cloud9, for all the rest of the teams, I would love if Cloud9 made Worlds, guys. I would love that. But right now, they would get destroyed going to Worlds. But Worlds is still a little bit too far away to be consistently talking about. But right now, are people even convinced that Cloud9 would do even well in playoffs? Forget Worlds. That's still far away. We haven't even made playoffs yet. Will they even do well in playoffs? What I'm talking about.
Yes. I'm not a Cloud9 fan, but yes, because given their history, they've outside of that 1 year where they got knocked out by TSM, they've been pretty much a solid world spot.
Yeah, like I know based off history, but right now I'm not convinced in their gameplay, man.
But like, remember, didn't EG last split? They didn't end up in. They were in top 5, and they won spring split.
Yeah. They were 1 game out for not even making playoffs, actually.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You never know with the preparation, how the scrims go. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a stark comparison, but EG didn't even make playoffs, and look how they dominated the LCS spring and made MSI. So we don't know, but I still, if I was a betting man, I'm still betting on C9. Then like, well, and okay, granted, Sean, yes, CLG's played good, but if I just had to say I'm gonna risk my money, I'm putting it on C9. I think they can. I still think they are a dark horse if they get their stuff.
So you're saying with Team Liquid and their super team that they built beginning of the season, they don't make Worlds?
Yeah, no, because Hamsama is overrated. Bwipo, they don't know really how to play around with Bwipo. Bjergsen has stagnated, and Santorin is not good. Like, I'm sorry, he's not that good.
As I said in the predictions with putting Team Liquid out of a world spot, that they shouldn't make it. But I will say there's a chance they still do, because this is just what happens all the time. They face a team like Cloud9 who's shaky at the moment, who might turn around in playoffs, but for the time being, when they face them, so they get an easy win, and then they face like an inexperienced team like CLG in the next round, and then they just get the world spot just from pure luck. From their experience. But Jesus Christ. But again, with Golden Guardians, holy fuck. They've ruined like every character. The only roster that ever worked out was that roster, and that was just pure luck, all right? And it wasn't them like being brilliant, all right? Like, no, I knew FBI had that great potential. I knew Closer was that great because I actually watched other regions, and I knew what they were doing with like Golden Glue and Demonte there. Right, Haunter was still a rock at the time. All right, I actually really liked it, and it wasn't anything to do with Golden Guardians and fucking hell, like.
Oh, I forgot the split warrant. There was another split, but they made playoffs and they got 6. So yeah, even when they make playoffs, they don't finish anything above like 5th or 6th.
Yeah. Also, the only reason why people doubted that Golden Guardians roster in 2020 was because of Keith's support. Literally, if they had Huhi there the whole time, everybody would have predicted them making playoffs at least.
They might have
Golden Guardians
a lot
roster
better actually. But
yes, everyone would have done so. It was literally just because of Keith, and then he proved it, and then they subbed him out. So then everybody was like, "Okay, this is a good team." But anyway, and then what happens when they just fluked out with a good roster of great players that they unknowingly, got, but because they definitely don't know how to scout talent, unlike us, they just sell them, boom, and then they get in like Niles and Iconic, all them don't know how to develop them for shit, just hires a bunch of garbage Oceanic development coaches and then ruins their fucking careers. Like seriously, Niles was so hyped up. EU teams were thinking about picking him up because of his mechanics and everything. You just needed some, the up his game knowledge. They just ruined all these careers.
Sean, let's be honest, right? Some people, I think if Niles was on, say, if you put him on Mad Lions, I think he would be a good player. Like that's what happens when you're not on a good board.
But it's not even that. It's just at least like fucking have him develop and improve a bit. Like there was nothing from him. They didn't know how to do shit. And again, that also because his fucking the one guy in Nero, whatever his fucking name is at Golden Guardians, all those Oceanic garbage coaches. And again, Oceanic, as much as I say some of the players are underrated, they have some talent there, like FBI, all those players over the years and still do, like Pabu and stuff. Their coach and developmental is the worst in all regions. But he got all of them because they were his buddies. That's literally why, because they were buddies. Again, Golden Guardians, I don't care how much money you have, like they do not deserve to have an LCS spot. Dignitas and Immortals, Dignitas is fine. Immortals just get new ownership and they're fine. Everybody else is fine, bring in 2 other teams in expansion. But Golden Guardians, I am sick of them having a spot. They do nothing. They don't know anything. All right, they're going to stay because they have the money, and the safety, and they like the league, the owners, but fuck, they do not deserve it.
Same way you feel about Dig is sorry. Same way you feel about Golden Guardians. I feel like Dig's the same way. Dig's been nothing but a bottom feeder. Like Dig's been nothing.
It's a little. I wouldn't say that. They've had some good years. Like what do you mean? Their first year with the Johnson roster was good. They just got unlucky.
Johnson roster, not really. They still look pretty wonky.
But they weren't like bottom feeder like that at all.
They've never been pretty much anything even like what about 7th?
And they got like 5th.
There was the split in 2021 where Dardock was carrying them, Dark and Afro carrying them so hard they almost made top 3. That was only just based off those 2 players. Nothing like they've always Dignitas and Golden Guards have always been pretty much shit. There's nothing really substantially good about them. Immortals just kind of came back, so maybe after next year I'll feel differently. But people are thinking TSM's the bottom. No, TSM at this point because they made bad decisions. That's what TSM.
I'm not saying Dignitas has been making good decisions since come back. I'm just saying I'm cool.
Well, do you think people have been kind of
trying stuff? I just think.
Do you think people have been unfair with TSM? Because I think TSM's really only here for a big reason because they've just made bad decisions about their roster. Because imagine this. Imagine a world where they actually make good decisions about their roster and their org, and they're actually competing with everyone right now.
It doesn't help with the Peter Zhang issue. It doesn't help with Double's girlfriend thing. All that drama. That all festers. I agree. I think TSM's gotten a little bit flack. I'm happy that Reginald's getting some sort of punishment. If he, if the punishment fits the crime, you deserve to be accountable for your consequences. If they make playoffs, if they still salvage something, I think we've seen orgs. Listen, Fnatic is not having the best season, and they're considered like one of the kings of Europe. T1 went through a funk for a little bit. and they didn't make Worlds and playoffs. So these orgs have these ups and downs. I'm hoping they can rebuild, but yeah, I think with like Peter Zhang, I don't know if you talked about Peter Zhang getting the ban actually.
I thought that would be pretty obvious. Yeah, like him getting banned is no surprise to me. I was like, nope, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a lifetime ban. That's, I mean, I'm sure that affected the players as well. So like, I think TSM, give it another year. There's still a org you would want to go to. They're gonna have the money. I just think you have a funk. And with
yeah, because I know you asked me last show about it. I was like, I think TSM's here just because of bad decision making. It's not because I think they're not a great
bad
org.
decision making.
It's a lot of bad decision making. Like if they had like the org has never been always ran very good because of Reginald, but their rosters panned out because they would make somewhat decent roster
and
decisions.
Because of Bjergsen, but whatever.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, time to predict final week of the LCS 2022 spring split regular season week 8. A lot of banger matchups here. Dignitas versus Team Liquid. Hell yeah. Quality. No.
I'll go.
Yeah,
first.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna pick the weird picks this time. I'm gonna be contrarian. So I'm gonna say Dig, EG, FlyQuest, TSM, C9, TL, 100, C9. Immortals, I think FlyQuest is having an XL season. EG, and then the last day is the bangers. The CLG, C9, because I think that they don't want to drop down. They don't want to lose it too many games. 100 Thieves, and then I guess Dig and TSM. That's where I got.
Okay. Let's go. Team Liquid, EG, 100 Thieves, CLG, Cloud9. Then I'll go. Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, TSM, Immortals, and EG, and then I'll go CLG, yeah, EG, 100 Thieves, I'll go Dig, and then I'll go TSM. There.
Whew. This week is okay. Friday.
I think Fly might go winless again.
Shit. If Fly go winless, that'll cause so much parity in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Fly going 0-3, 7-game loss streak. Fuck. All right. Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, 100 Thieves, CLG, Cloud9, Team Liquid. Match of the week right here. Pretty interesting one. Definitely for the standings. 100 Thieves. I think they break their win streak for CLG. Cloud9 did stop TSM the last time they played around, so that's definitely possible this time around, but they have solo this time, so who knows? C9, FlyQuest, and EG. So you have CLG. I think EG beats Cloud9. TL versus the 100 Thieves. Pretty big matchup right there. I think 100 Thieves are the best team right now in the LCS. I think they sweep 3-0 this week. I think Dig are going to be Golden Guardians, and I think TSM beat FlyQuest.
So I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah. And also Majestic. I mean, I agree with you with Immortals and Dig there and with their having no fans. I just think they need to revamp it and they would be fine. But I think Golden Guardians, I just want out. But I mean, I will say Golden Guardians, so I like I don't know if they still do it, but I did like their YouTube content. So that's one thing I'll give them.
A lot of
fans, I do have some good news, though. Actually, I have some good news, MSK. Listen,
I hate you.
So the top laner Hoon, so in his fourth LCS game, he's now gotten officially his first LCS kill. In his one kill 5 death performance against TSM. So he now has an excellent 1 kill and around 30 death career KDA in his 4 games. Baby steps to become the greatest top laner in history.
That's a player you want to invest into. That's a player that should get thrown some big money in the offseason.
I didn't want to talk about like other regions unless we don't have time.
Oh, I gotta actually finish up the show, but I'll say this though: you guys are watching Gen G right now in the LCK, best team right now in the LCK.
I don't watch
should
that.
Win a title.
I don't watch.
What would you do if they choke against T1 again in the playoffs?
That's gonna happen.
I'm gonna throw my fucking computer out the screen. Right now, by how well Gen G's playing, I think they're the best team right now in the LCK. They don't win a title this year. I don't know anymore. At
Holy
that point.
fuck!
Maybe the Sandbox wins the title.
Fuck.
They
Liv Sandbox is actually a dark horse right now. They're actually not a bad team.
Yes. Again, who makes Worlds? It will probably be Gen G, T1, DK, just because of their championship points, where they are right now, and then I Liv Sandbox will probably get the 4th of how bit they've been playing, but they could be upset, I guess.
Bedlams.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, now with the Turk, I will say though, as much as people, meme NA and not having NA players on teams like Team Liquid, I mean, if we look in the Turkish league, so that there's the first place team that's like fucking 16-0 right now, like 16 wins, 0 losses in summer, just monster team right now. It consists of like 2 Swedish players, 2 Korean players, and like 1 Arabic player, like no Turkish players. So, just fun fact there.
Making Hoon the GOAT. If Hoon becomes the GOAT, then that's when I get laid. That's how it works, actually.
Jesus.
But
it is absolutely baffling, though, when you realize Chovy hasn't won an LCK title yet.
It's actually really... He's lost to Faker when it matters. Like, yeah, Faker's been just more clutch than him in actual games that'll be meaningful to your career, Faker's just been more clutch when it comes to winning titles. That's all it pretty much is. I think he is. Chovy's been better than Faker in the LCK. I think he has, but it doesn't really matter unless you actually beat Faker. Faker just shows up when it matters. He's just more clutch. And that sucks though. Like, you can be better than a guy the whole fucking season, but then at the one game that matters and he plays better than you. Yeah. Or it's not even just a team sometimes. It's not even just Chovy, just his teams are always just crumble, Like the years he just wanted to be around Deft. There was years where he just wanted to be around just Deft or Doran. I was like, why do you settle for Doran? I was like, I don't know, But the way Gen G's playing right now, woof, there you go. They better win the split. If they don't win the split, oh my god.
I will say, what your support situation is bad when you have Snowflower as your starter, and after a 2-year hiatus.
Is when Damwon was playing. I was watching them, and then they had that one guy sub in because the other player got COVID. I was like, this player you just brought in is more better than the support. Why don't you keep this guy in? Nope, they just play Dekdom and Keelan. Dekdom and Keelan are fucking garbage. I understand. They're fucking horrible.
I mean, they played better this week, but whatever. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's sad, but God, Snowflower's actually been doing well.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, guys, the player that I put out as my MVP last year for Worlds, BDD? Yeah, he's not going to be at Worlds this year because his team completely just is shit.
Well, okay, listen, he is the main reason for it. He has regressed off a cliff. He's been playing like dog shit.
He had a really bad year, yeah. I thought he had a really great year last year.
NS is the same thing with like what we talk about other teams. It's actually just like 5 players playing by themselves. It's the same thing we said about others.
They before I go to bed, the LCK always puts their games on first, so I get a chance. I've actually been watching the LCK, dude. I'm so sad Damwon's been playing that bad, man. That bot lane is. Yes. If anyone thinks Dekdom and Keelan are staying, you are on drugs. They are gone. They're already gone. They're just waiting for this year to run out. If Damwon make Worlds and I could see Damwon in their horrible state making Worlds and even getting top 4 and then still getting kicked.
Well, they will because they got the champion points 3rd place in last split playoffs, and then the other team that got like the semifinals championship points was Quantum Freaks, which is definitely not doing anything right now. So I think they're in, and then with how they are right now, and like
what do you think about EDG?
They're in a safe
EDG's
position.
bot lane is. You see the EDG bot lane play sometimes,
Do
man.
something about the hoodlums.
Jesus Christ!
Fuck you.
I will say I think Snowflower would legit be better than like the 5 supports TSM has right now in their system.
Okay, so for the LPL games, I did get a chance to watch. So I saw, I saw Anyone's Legend versus JDG, and I saw that one top laner guy take Camille when he didn't need to, and I was like, yeah. If you know Anyone's Legend, who I called Anyone's bitch last season, Anyone's Legend is really turning around. If they're a dark horse right now to make worlds. And then I saw LNG. LNG subbed out Ale for this one guy called Pandacy, and he's been just mentally breaking down. Like,
yes, I was going to mention that. LA, that was one of my topics I was going to mention in this episode, but if we had time, because LA played disappointed at moments, so I wanted to talk about this guy Panda C. He has been this guy has this guy ever played League in his life? He is so fucking horrendous.
Oh, he was in the LDL league, the second tier league.
Yes.
I don't know. Horrendous. Are these losing championship points? I don't think they are. I don't think so.
I thought they still are. Yeah, they are championship points still.
So? I think so. I'm not too sure about that. But the 4 teams from the LCK that I think are going to make it are Genji T1, definitely your shoe-ins. If they don't make it, then I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, no, they're still using
Live Sandbox, I think, is going to be their 4th team. I think there's a really strong team.
Probably. I mean, I was saying KT has been playing super well.
KT actually has been playing. It's a toss-up between DRX, Damwon, and KT for their 4th place team. Because I think Live Sandbox, T1, and Genji are locks. I think those teams are going for sure. But Damwon, imagine Worlds finalists last year not making Worlds, man. That'd be fucking. But
here's the thing: unless they are doing the format differently, the team with like the 3rd most championship points is usually like placed in like the gauntlet in the finals, where they're one of the 2 seeds out of the 4 that made it. That's what they did last year. And I'm saying if they're following that format again, then I think Damwon is in, because with how the championship points are looking right now. Mm-hmm. So I think it just comes down to Live Sandbox just getting that 4th seed and not showing.
Like Live Sandbox got some really key crucial wins this past few weeks, where they beat Damwon, they beat another team that they were tying the standings with, DRX, right? Like Ruler, I think he's gonna be my MVP for the LCK split. I think he's been playing insane, honestly. I think he's been the best player in the LCK right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Him or what's the other guy? Him or Kyria still been playing really well.
Kyria maybe, but so I wanted to show, this is like a minute long in private chat. So yeah, that Panda and C guy been playing so badly, this shit happened. You need to watch this.
Oh Lord. The chow mein eaters being mean to each other.
Yeah, screen share it.
More like guerrilla warfare, am I right?
Yeah.
Are there fans like that for this shit?
Yeah.
For like,
I was saying we should rename Team 1 fans to Truck 1 fans.
Truck 1, oh my goodness.
他们提到罗森，我跟你们讲一个事情啊，我跟你们讲，你们真的不要去喷小胖，你知道吗？小胖，他打完V5那天，他去罗森买吃的，罗森的服务员跟他说：“潘大飞，今天发挥的不是很好啊。”然后他就走了。然后他回来跟我们说，他以后不敢去罗森买吃的了。然后去罗森的话，就要偷偷在门外盯着，是不是那个服务员。如果是那个服务员的话，他就不会进去了。你看压力太大了。03年。是啊，03年小朋友别欺负别人。
Yeah, that's about how he's underperforming. So, this
Ale. Yeah, if anyone's watching LNG, people don't think, oh my god, they have Doinby and Tarzan. They're probably the best in the LPL. Then I would know you don't watch the LPL. They have not been performing very well.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep
It's not Ale.
Is it Ale? Is it Ale or Ale?
It's Ale.
Oh, stop playing fucking semantics, you fucker.
No, it's Ale.
No, like people that don't watch the LPL are gonna go, oh my god, they're probably the best team. No, guys, they're not. They're playing really bad. It's pretty sad looking at it right now in their state.
Yeah, so this is down to carry. It's like, goddamn.
No, this is crazy how like in the LPL, you'll have like the league is so big that there's just fans that you can see like in traditional sports. That's cool, but it's also shitty that if you play badly, then it could end up being that too. That's fucking bad.
I got Thunder Talk Gaming is actually going to make playoffs. It's insane.
Thunder Talk. If Up makes playoffs, I'm going to cut my fucking arm off.
Well, no, they've already been out. Thunder
thank
Talk
God, that team is horrible.
The reason why they bit is because they're like 6 and 8 right now in the standings, and there's like a fucking 6-way tie for like 7 and 9 or 7 and 8 right now. So if you get 8 and 8, then you're in playoffs automatically, and the rest play tiebreaker at least for like one spot, probably with at least 3 of them with how it is right now. And OMG went 8 and 8, so they're in. And Thunder Talk, they had 2 games in hand, and their schedule was the team you just said, which had been playing bad, so they easily beat them. And then the other team that they have in hand is another pretty bad team like LGD or something. So they're pretty much in now because of that, which is crazy. Thunder Talk Gaming actually makes it, but I mean they've improved a lot, and especially after getting rid of fucking Puff and Southwind. And Hoya has been doing really well.
So that's just my thing right now with some of the regions. I know some people like to hear us when we do talk about the other regions. So I am watching LCK and LPL. Don't worry, guys. I'll have my opinion set on some teams when we do get around them to talk about them. It's just so hard to cover them when it comes to like these shows because we just don't have enough time. There's just not enough time to cover LPL and LCK. But when we do have episodes based around them, it's just very rare. But we try. Like if there's, fuck my ass.
Jesus Christ! What kind of carjacking is this?
What kind of hoodlum crew you running?
No, girl. I did want to say one last thing. I needed to correct myself. A few streams ago, I was baffled by Live Soundbox doing so well as they look genuinely worse than like every other team in the split prior, despite everyone hyping up players such as Closer. And the main reason for it was Dove performing like the worst top laner in the league, and he's still not even looking that great. And, the ADC looking like the worst ADC in the league, and Croco and Kale regressing. Here's the thing, though. I accidentally got
those games where Fred Brion almost beat T1 and Jinji in some games.
Yeah, that's sad. So here's the thing, though. I accidentally got their ADC right now, Prince, who is like the leading player of the games right now in the league. He might win MVP to split. I got him mixed up with Ice and MV, who was like apparently playing last split, and they just didn't. Prince was just not signed to a team for some reason. So, my bad, Prince. If you're happening to watch this, any chance if you understand English?
Oh,
oops.
My thing right now is that it's only just the last thing I'll talk about before we let out. It's the Fred and Brion thing. They turned it on so late, guys. If you guys watched their latest series against Gen G, it's a very big possibility Gen G lost that series, or maybe Gen G just didn't respect them. I don't know. Fred and Brion, they have some really shitty. They started really shitty, but they kind of somewhat turned it on these past weeks, and it doesn't even matter. That's just the crazy thing about League is that you can have really shitty starts, but then turn it on when it doesn't matter and the pressure's off. But that's when you have a team where you have. That's when you try to play fucking Umpty for like the past 4 years. I mean, I don't know. Umpty's never been really good ever.
Hey man, they have Morgan. He's really good.
They played Morgan and Umpty. They had no aspirations for making
Morgan
worlds.
and Sword. Like Jesus, fuck.
Oh shit. Well, guys, that's it. We had a great show tonight. Sean fucked me over earlier today, so I
didn't fuck you over. It was my fucking friend.
And yes, next week we'll have our MVP, MIP, all pro teams for the LEC, LCS. Because after week 8, not next week, because we'll do that for the playoffs. When the playoffs actually starts after this week, so it'll be not this week, but the next one, we'll have all that stuff before the playoff starts. We'll have a segment for those shows for just that. But yeah, it's almost over, guys. LCS is done, regular season, and LEC is done after this week for regular seasons. Want to make sure I got this stuff in for you guys because, when you start Super Weeks, they start on Friday of that week. So, yeah, I think Cloud9 right now has just not been playing that well at all. I mean, I hope they play a lot better, but their early games have been really, really shit. Their drafting has been really shit. The play's been bad. All I can hope is that they just bounce back.
Yeah.
I think EG and 100 Thieves are going to go to Worlds, but I would hope Cloud9 is in the mix of that as well. I think CLG will give teams some runs for their money, potentially, but it's just on how you look at that, though. The league, both LCS and LEC right now are really, really competitive. It's not just a super dominant team right now from both leagues. I mean, 100 Thieves recently have picked up a lot of steam, but they weren't initially dominant, right? I hate this life. So, yeah, that's how I've been seeing it personally.
Hoodlum!
LPL sucks. LPL sucks.
We need to find your hoodlum crew. What are you gonna call them?
The car alarm jackers.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah, it's just this guy got a new car and
fuck.
I don't know what's been going on with his alarm. I'm gonna tell him to shut that shit off. Oh my god, it's just annoying to see.
Yeah.
But yes, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, next week 2 more episodes. LEC and LCS super weeks. But I don't like people are gonna be like, oh my god, you're such a hater. All you do is complain. I'm not some fucking dick sucking fanboy where I'm just gonna go like the Cloud9 house is on fire and you're like, no, it's okay, everything's okay. I'm not gonna be like that. That's fucking stupid. But yes, watch the LCK and watch the LPL. That way you guys can understand when you see Lucian Nami be as badly played as it is in the LEC and the LCS. A lot of these picks you guys see in the LCS and the LEC are usually always pretty bad there. In the LPL and the LCK, they're always played to their fullest extent. More or less so. And Warren's having sex with a girl right now. All right, guys. See you guys next week.